MSNBC contributor Donny Deutsch called 2020 presidential hopeful Senator Elizabeth Warren unlikable on Wednesday's edition of Morning Joe before being accused of being problematic by fellow panelist Karine Jean-Pierre for only applying such a characterization of female candidates. You can't tell 160 million people you're going to take something away that they already have, Deutsch, a marketing and branding expert and MSNBC contributor, said when discussing Warren's Medicare for All healthcare plan. And I also think the electability thing, I've said this all along. I've taken some heat. I do not think she is electable. I think she would get trounced in a landslide by Trump, he continued. I think people are sensitive. I also think she has a likability issue. I think her kind of high school principal demeanor, this is not a gender thing. This is just kind of tone and manner thing. I think the American public, the more they see, the more they're going, this is not the answer. Donnie, the likability thing, it's so problematic to hear because it is always connected to female candidates, women candidates. Jean-Pierre, an NBC and MSNBC political analyst, replied. I think Senator Bernie Sanders is equally as unlikable. Deutsch, that proves he's an idiot. Noted of the Vermont Independent, a 2020 presidential candidate and self-described Democratic Socialist. Bernie's more unlikable economist and former Obama, that explains it, Auto Task Force head Steve Ratner injected. I have not heard it with any of the male candidates. You don't hear that type of language. So Deutsch is not very bright. And I keep having to repeat this, and if people want to see a poll, I can show it to them. If Sanders was so unlikable, if he was a person that turns people off, if he was not popular, why do we have multiple polls citing him as the most popular politician? And I'm sorry, but I'm sure we can go and look at Warren's favorabilities as well. And I've admitted, I think Warren would have a much more difficult time against Trump than Sanders. I think Sanders would be able to very effectively either defeat Trump or give him a hell of a run, whereas Warren, at her best, can win by a comfortable margin than at her worst. We're not. So when he says she would lose to Trump, I don't go and say, there's no way that could happen. I think it's likely, but I also think it's likely that she could win. It's kind of like a 50-50. And that's how the actual voting goes anyway, where it's 50-50 and then the Electoral College decides things. That's why only 5 or 6 states actually matter. But to sit there and go, Sanders is unlikable, and Warren's going to take away the health care of millions of people. They will not stop with this smear. When the hell did Warren ever go up and say, Americans, I'm going to take away 160 million people's pre-existing health care? And she never said that. But see, because he's one of these big pharma boys, little pseudo right-wingers, they can go around and smear the crap out of these candidates and have no problem doing it. And when they say things, it doesn't even make sense. Medicare for All is popular. Medicare is popular. Why the hell would people object to getting a better healthcare program that under our circumstances you have to wait 65 years to get? And the only time they do resent it is because pricks on MSNBC, like Deutsch, and what's the other little fool that wrote something? Steve Ratner and Buddha Trash and Biden go around smearing people who support single payer and trying to make all of us seem as, or we don't know, we're so out of step with the American people. None of us know what we're talking about. It's just attack progressive after progressive. If they were this much into attacking Trump, maybe he wouldn't have his highest numbers yet. So they're just so stupid, man. They don't even think when they say things. It's like you just hear something in your head. You don't bother to look at any polls. You don't nothing. They don't care. It would be like if after Harris's first debate performance, like, man, she didn't do a good job. I couldn't objectively say that because I saw all of the positive reception she got on social media, on TV. It doesn't work when I try to say things and I tell you that this person can't do this and it's going off of their popularity among other people, I try to at least cite a poll. I don't like Buddha trash. I think he would lose to Trump. And that's been, just my position, but also the fact that he had the out of Sanders, Warren, and Biden, he had the smallest lead over Trump in one of the. I think it was about a month or two ago, and it might have changed since then. But I can't say he's out of the race because he's leading in Iowa. I'm not going to look at numbers and then because I don't like some person go, oh, forget that. No. So really, just another disgusting display by the supposed liberal network.